Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Oh, I can't believe we are at the end of August. This mermaid is just going to have a moment of silence. Thank you to everybody that is joining me live. And if you're catching the replay, I really appreciate that as well. If you guys have any questions, if you're watching live, make sure you put the word question in front of it just so that I see it. I am going to be sharing my screen a little bit today, and I just want to make sure I don't miss any of your questions. If you're watching on replay, you can just leave a comment on this video and I will get back to you. Otherwise, I have my email on the screen and I'm always happy to answer questions there as well. And so, yeah, it is sadly getting to be the end of summer. If you guys don't know me, I am Jenn and I live on Cape Cod in Massachusetts. And in the summer, I am very much a mermaid. I try my hardest to have a little bit of a slower pace and really just enjoy all that summer has to offer in New England. We really do have the best summers ever, and it just always goes by too fast. But if you also don't know, I am a creative chick full-time, and I offer online classes, in-person classes, online events, and in-person events. Pre-pandemic, I traveled all around North America and taught up to 30 weekends a year. Post-pandemic, I still do travel and teach in person. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but I also offer a lot more online opportunities. I absolutely love to teach in person. Nothing can ever replace that. However, after teaching so many years in person, and I always heard, why are you not coming to this place to teach? And, oh, I can't make it that weekend. And one of the beautiful things about online is I come to you worldwide. You can be anywhere. And even if I am teaching live, all of my online classes are available afterwards at your own pace whenever you want to watch them. And that really is amazing. And you can watch them over and over as well. So as I was mentioning, as summer starts to unwind, I do get excited for the fall season. I think it's like the craftiest season in my eyes. It's before the holidays, so we're not that busy with those yet. And I just love the fall vibes of classes. And I am so excited with the classes that I am offering this year. So typically, I teach a lot of Lawn Fawn classes. Lawn Fawn is a stamp company, one of my most favorite stamp companies, and they had a release 2 weeks ago, but it was right before I went on vacation, so I wasn't able to host this live until today. But on release day, I released the details of 2 paid classes and 1 free class. And I always do this on release day for my Lawn Fawn classes. That way, those of you that are placing an order with Lawn Fawn or shopping at your local store, you can kind of bring in the class list and have that be your little shopping list. And so I wanted to hop on because I think it's helpful to go over what these online classes are about, what I have coming up in person, and answer any questions you guys might have. I feel like I've been offering these for several years now, so I'm kind of in autopilot, but maybe you guys have some questions. I see a bunch of you guys are in the chat, so thank you so much. I see Scrappy Chic. Renee from Michigan is here. We're going to chat a little bit about Scrappy Chic, and my linking ninja bestie, Miss Brianne, is here, and she wants to know when I'll be at Indiana to teach. Oh, Miss Brianne, you're so funny. But what I wanted to say is let me know if you guys have questions in the chat. A couple people, I did a little question poll over on my Instagram stories yesterday, and I had a couple questions there that I'll make sure that I answer. And yeah, I'm excited. So let's get started. So with Lawn Fawn release, I released 2 paid classes. These are online classes, Witchy Wishes and Hello Beauty Fall. So Witchy Wishes is a Halloween card class, and this will be self-paced. And what I mean by that is, honestly, all of my online classes can be self-paced, but I run out of weekends and times that I can teach live. So I offer some self-paced classes where I give you guys an estimated time of when I will release the handout and the class videos. And those videos are done in real time. I purposely do not edit them down so that you really will feel like you're working right along with me. But again, if I'm going a little too slow, you can fast forward ahead. If you got a little behind, you can rewind, all those things. So Witchy Wishes is going to be a lot of fun. I brought back some of the Halloween sets that we've used in previous classes, but I am using the new Halloween mice. And the color combo for this class is so magical, and I love it so much. And there's not a speck of orange, believe it or not. I've been having a lot of fun with just kind of stretching my creative brain with color combos. So yeah. And then my other class is Hello Beauty Fall. And you would have thought I would have written down the dates for these. I know that Witchy Wishes is scheduled to release the videos towards the end of September. And then Hello Beauty Fall, I'm going to be teaching it live online on October 5th, which that is a Sunday. Again, weekends are tough. Believe it or not, there's lots of things going on the weekends. So I thought I'd host it on Sunday. But remember, all online classes, if you cannot make them live, you can watch them whenever you would like. So Scrappy Chic is in the house, and Scrappy Chic has been really awesome. And when I launch new online Lawn Fawn classes, they offer kits. So maybe it's not in your budget right now to buy any new stamps or dies. You can take an online class with me, which they're very, very affordable. They're only $20. And then you can get a kit from Scrappy Chic, and they pre-stamp, pre-die cut, pre-cut paper, all the things. And those are only $18. Now, both of these classes were announced, like I said, almost 2 weeks ago, because I was on vacation. So I know that Witchy Wishes, I believe, is sold out. If Renee's still here, maybe she can chime in. And I believe that there's still some kits for Hello Beautiful. Maybe I'm mixing it up. I'm going to wait until Renee lets me know in the chat. Again, I wrote a lot of notes for today, but I'm always forgetting to check a couple things before I go live. So, and then beyond that, and I'm going to show you guys my screen in a few minutes. Beyond that, I also hosted or launched the details for my free online class. These are Create With Us classes that I host with Kelly Marie, one of the owners of Lawn Fawn, and we host them right on Lawn Fawn's YouTube channel. There's no need to sign up. And that class is actually this Thursday, tomorrow, August 28th. And we're going to be creating with Build-A-Bunny and the new Build-A-Critter costumes. So that one, you can totally join us live. It's a fun crafty chat. There's a downloadable handout. Again, I am going to share my screen with you guys in just a minute and kind of give you the rundown. And these are so fun. And Chari has worked really hard at organizing the Create With Us page and the playlist on YouTube. And she let me know that this Create With Us that we're hosting tomorrow is our 30th Create With Us, which is amazing. So Scrappy Chic is letting me know that Beautiful is sold out and there's one Witchy Wishes kit left. So if you are live, you better go snag it. If you're watching on replay, it might not be available. But I really encourage you guys to subscribe to my email newsletter. That way, the second I launch classes, you will know those details and you can hop right on over and grab those kits if you want them. But we are going to talk a little bit about supply lists, and even if you don't have a large crafty budget right now, how you can still partake in these classes. And we're going to dive into all of that in just a couple minutes. I also just want to mention, I don't teach in person as much as I used to. However, I will be teaching mixed media in season card class at Papercraft Clubhouse in Connecticut. So I live in Massachusetts. Papercraft Clubhouse is kind of like my local store. It'll take me about 2 hours to get there. It's a really easy, fun drive. And so I will be teaching there on September 13th. Registration opened up yesterday. And this is the first time I'm teaching a mixed media class in person at a store. So I'm super, super excited. We're going to play with distress watercolor pencils. Everybody's going to get a custom Stampers Anonymous stamp set that is curated from a bunch of my favorite images from Tim Holtz stamp sets, but I'm able to resize them and pull from different sets to have this unique set. And we're going to actually make 5 cards. So I'm very, very excited about that. So I would just say, if you live in the New England area, come take class with me, because not only is it going to be a fun in-person class, but Papercraft Clubhouse is an amazing store, and just being there and being able to shop and browse in person is such a fun experience, and it's worth the travel. So again, that will be September 13th. Registration opened up yesterday. So definitely snag a seat as soon as you can. So Renee's in the chat from Scrappy Chic, and she says she usually launches the kits at 10 a.m. Eastern on Lawn Fawn release day. I announce my classes and the supply list for my classes at midnight on release day. So she does it pretty much the next day, and I just get it done right when Lawn Fawn launches everything. So that's good to know. Thank you so much, Renee, for that. And thank you, Miss Brienne, for linking all of the things. And you guys answering my questions that I don't know the answers to, like dates and such. So Sheila is asking, will there be any kits to purchase for those who cannot attend the mixed media in season class? And I say, stay tuned, Miss Sheila. There will be more details about that in this live in just a couple minutes. All right. So actually, I said in a couple minutes, but how about right now? So also upcoming, Chari, my East Coast Fawnie bestie, she works for Lawn Fawn and lives down in North Carolina. So we call ourselves the East Coast Fawnies because Lawn Fawn is based out of California. I persuaded her years ago to do a few online classes with me where we co-teach, which is so fun. And we often will ask all of you guys what stamp sets you would like to see us feature. And it's typically a stamp set that has been out for a while. This all started with Happy Harvest. Chari and I are literally obsessed with Happy Harvest. He is the cutest scarecrow in all of the land. We now refer to him as Mr. Harvest. And that was the first online class we did together. And so we posted a poll, and I kind of announced it through my email newsletter and on some social media posts. And you guys all wanted to see S'more the Merrier. So that is going to be our next East Coast Fawnies class. And that is coming soon. We will be teaching that in October, and we will have more details about that coming in September. And then Sheila was asking about kits to purchase for my mixed media in season class. I will be teaching that class online in early November, and more details of that will come later in September. I told you guys, fall is just a fun, creative season, right? Right. So I wanted to share my screen with you guys and just help you understand maybe where to navigate, where to find all of this fun stuff. And I actually wanted to start with the free Create With Us classes because those are really nice resources if you are a Lawn Fawn fan. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys, and hopefully this will work okay. All right, I think we're good. I just got to move a few things out of my way so I can see what we're looking at. So this is Lawn Fawn's website, just lawnfawn.com. And it really is filled with so much inspiration. I hope you have all enjoyed that. But what I want to share with you guys is how to get to the Create With Us page. And I wanted to just give a quick rundown of that because, like I said, Chari and Jess have been working really hard at organizing this since there is so many resources available now. So under fun stuff, you will see join in on the fun and create with us free virtual classes. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and it's going to bring us to this page. And you can see here our next up Create With Us class is Build a Critter Costumes. So we're going to be using Build the Bunny and the new Build a Critter Costumes die set. And we're going to be creating these two cards that you can see right here. And these classes change in style all the time. And I think it was last summer I used distress watercolor pencils in one of the Create With Us classes, and people really, really enjoyed that. So here and there, I've been bringing those distress watercolor pencils back into these Create With Us classes. But you can use any watercoloring medium you want. Kelly's even going to share how you can use your ink pads, and it's going to be so much fun. So we have a link here to the YouTube live, and you could go right over here and one second, I got all the pop-ups coming up, but you can come over here and I'm not signed in because I'm in a different window, but you can tap the bell over here to be reminded when we do go live so that you won't forget. But back on the Create With Us page, right here, PDF of full supply list and instructions. And so this is a free downloadable handout that everybody can go and grab right now. It gives a really great photo of each of the cards that we're creating with a supply list. It gives the little bit of homework if you do want to create along with us. It explains what to die cut with what kind of paper. There's some good detail shots, and I always list whatever I popped up or glittered or any of those little details that are hard to maybe see online. And we are watercoloring with distress watercolor pencils, so there isn't coloring guides per se, those of you that are used to my coloring guides, but typically there are coloring guides listed for you as well. I always share swatches of the inks we're using because I know there's a lot of different brands of inks, and I'm also listing out exactly what distress watercolor pencils we are going to use. So when I mention, this is our 30th Create With Us, you can scroll down and still access all those previous free classes. The PDFs are still available, and these are the links to the replays of the videos. So these are the ones that we did just this year. But then if you go down, and these were actually last fall, but if you go to the Create With Us archive, look at all of this amazing information to just help you get started. Sometimes, you've had a busy day at work or a hectic week and you just want to sit down and create, and you don't want to have to come up with the ideas or decide what markers to pull. All of that information is here for you. And like I mentioned, most of these classes do come with my coloring guides that a lot of you guys have really enjoyed over the years. So that is Create With Us. And these are so much fun. Like I said, we will have one tomorrow night. If you're watching me live, August 28th, we'll be live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then Lawn Fawn's going to have another release in September with their holiday and winter products. And so we will have another Create With Us in October. So definitely watch for that. So let's see. Tracy says, oh, I have S'more the Merrier. Is it going to be a virtual class? Yes, the East Coast Fawnie S'more the Merrier will be an online class. And Elizabeth says, if I've never done mixed media, will the Papercraft Clubhouse be over my head, or is it a basic class? So Elizabeth, I promise you, if you have never done mixed media before, you will love this class. It is going to be very approachable. However, I'll also say, if you have done mixed media before, I think that I'm going to inspire you and get those creative juices going. So I really think it's a good class for everybody. And I promise you, I'm not just saying that. Okay. So now that we talked about Create With Us, I want to chat with you guys a little bit about my online classes. So this is my website, shirkus.com. And when you come to my website, I typically have a link up in this top bar, which for some reason is not showing on the screen. So I'm not even going to talk about it. nix that. You can go right here to the classes section on my website. And what you're going to find is at the top of this page is upcoming classes. And these are in chronological order. They are either online or in-person classes that I am hosting or participating in. So you can see everything we just talked about. The only thing I didn't talk about is I am teaching an exclusive class for Crop and Create Delivered. That is an online event, but it is sold out, but it's a really, really fun event. So again, following my email newsletter will keep you in the loop of all of these fun things that are coming up, and hopefully before they sell out, you can participate. And then what happens down here is classes on demand. And so these are all of my online classes in alphabetical order, and they are still available. Even if I've already taught them, you can just approach them as if they are self-paced classes. You still get access to all of the resources, which we're going to show you in just a minute. You still can watch the videos. You can watch the videos multiple times. And yeah, it is a big, big resource of really, really fun classes. All right. And a lot of them are Lawn Fawn, but you probably saw up here, there are my distress technique classes as well. And then I also have my Copic 101, which is a great introduction to coloring with alcohol-based markers. So let's say you are interested in taking one of my current online classes. So let's go to Hello Beautiful. When you come over here, this is bringing you into my online shop. And I always swatch out whatever Copic markers I am going to use. I've done this for all of my classes. However, a couple weeks ago, I made an announcement that I am also going to start to swatch a Copic and an Olo marker comparison chart. Olo is not a replacement to Copics. They're not trying to have all the same exact colors as Copics. So there might be a hole here or there, but I'm going to do my best to share whatever comparison colors I can find. So those of you that are using Olo markers will be able to have that resource. And then if I'm using any inks, I always swatch those for you. Like I mentioned, I know there's a lot of different brands of inks out there. So having these swatched out, I think helps you in picking a similar color if you don't necessarily have those Lawn Fawn inks. And this information is available without signing up. You don't need to be signed up for the class. I lay it all out there for you so you have all the information you will need. And then down in the description of the class, I explain, what day it is. Remember, all of my online classes, you can take them any day you want after the class day. This is where I have a link right here, limited kits available. Will bring you over to Scrappy Chic's website where they have any kits for my classes available. So like Renee just said, there's only one of the Witchy Wishes left. But the Beautiful has already sold out. And then I always list and link all of the supplies we're going to use in class. And I break these supplies down by Lawn Fawn supplies required, non-Lawn Fawn supplies required, and then Lawn Fawn optional supplies and non-Lawn Fawn optional supplies. And this way you can kind of see again everything that's available. And I just want to say really quick, let me bump back to my face for a second. The supply list can seem overwhelming, right? We'll go back to it in a minute, and it looks really, really long. But I want to say to you a few things. One, we're going to talk about substituting and shopping your stash. And I really, really encourage everybody to do that. But two, and hopefully some of you guys that are here live with me today will chime in the chat. Two, I use the same supplies over and over and over. I have been teaching card making for over 20 years now, and I've been using the same glue pen, the same scissors, the same, like so many supplies I use all the time. So I think my friend Danielle, who takes a lot of my classes, she chimed in and she's like, when you become Jenn's friend, because we're going to become friends, when you become my friend, I'm expensive at first. But the more you're my friend, the less expensive I become. Now, I do love to enable you and really just inspire you for some new products here and there. But you will find time and time again, I use the same supplies over and over. And as I design my new classes, I do my best to think about what we've used in previous classes and bring those back in. And I did that a lot, especially for the Halloween class. So just keep that in mind. And then I'm going to bring you into the class resource page, and we're going to talk about how you can substitute and choose different supplies from your stash. They don't even need to be Lawn Fawn brand. No Lawn Fawn police are going to come knocking at your door. I just want to help you create more, use your stuff more, not worry about having to come up with the ideas as much, and just have fun, right? I just want you to have fun. Somebody had asked if the East Coast Fawnies class will have kits available, and Renee did chime in the chat that Scrappy Chic will be kitting for that class. I don't want to say they kit for every Lawn Fawn class ever, but they pretty much have been kitting for every Lawn Fawn class ever. So yeah. Okay. So with that being said, let's go back to the screen, and I just want to share with you guys. So once you have purchased the class, okay, right away, without me having to do anything, you get access to the class resource page. So you would come up here to my account and you would log into your account. Now, I am logged into my friend Libby's account. She is having fun in Boston right now, which is semi-breaking my heart a little bit because I'm not that far from her and I can't go give her a hug. But she's having a blast in Boston. We're going to hang out in her account on my website, and I know that she is going to be okay with that. So once you log into your account, you are on your dashboard. You're going to go over here to my classes and events. And this is where it's going to list any classes that you have signed up for. So we're going to go to Hello Beautiful, which is one of my newest classes. And we're going to click the class resource page. And so this is a private page that only class attendees get access to, okay? So some of this information is what is available in my shop, but some of it is privy to those that registered for class. So all of this top information is just repeating what is in the online shop, even down to the links for the class supplies, the links of the markers. But then we get into supply list and class prep handout. So we can go ahead and click this, and it is going to download the handout for the supply list and the class prep, okay? So in here, it lists the supplies, and then it gets into, here we go, the class prep. So this first card right here, we are going to be creating a reveal wheel. Well, Jenn, I don't own the reveal wheel. The beauty of most interactive cards is they can be easily translated. The design of that card can be easily translated into a non-interactive card, right? So you can still cut a panel of cardstock that is the same size as this white panel that you see right here. And you can still cut yourself a grassy piece, and you can still cut the spring basket, and then you can maybe just choose one of the fillers, right? Since you're not going to rotate through. But looking at this, it lists out the 3 stamp sets that we're using. We're using Spring Basket Add-on Fall, and then the You Autumn Know. You Autumn Know is a previously released set, and maybe you don't own that set, but here it shows you what we're using from that set. The jumping mouse, we're using 3 leaves. So maybe shop your stash. Do you have another Lawn Fawn mouse? Do you have some other leaves from another company? Like, this is why this prep handout really helps you in deciding what you want to purchase and what you don't. And this is why I make sure that this is available on the night of release night, so you can choose, you know what, I'm going to skip buying that supply because I have something else. So the same thing here for card 2. We're using the brand new Scripty Fall and the Scripty Fall outline. Maybe you don't want to buy those, but you have Scripty Happy. Maybe you have alphabet dies. Maybe you have a large sentiment that you're going to stamp on a banner. I don't show you the full cards until just the actual week of the event, because I do think it's fun to take the classes and be able to have those actual cards be a surprise. But I give you as much information as possible so that you can choose what you want to purchase and what you don't. And I can't stress enough, I'm probably sounding like a broken record, but I really, really, really want you guys to shop your stash, right? And I mean, even the stuff that I list as required, I say it so loosely. I don't mean it's really required, right? If you're super creative and you don't even want to, maybe you don't have the spring basket set. I had somebody email me and they had another Easter basket and they asked if that would work. And so I actually sent her a photo to show the size comparison. That's why I always say you can reach out to me with questions, and I am so, so happy to help and answer and, help navigate substituting as best as I can, right? There might be something where you're like, can I substitute this? And I'm like, kind of no, but for the most part, I try my best to answer that for you. So then you'll see up here, I say there's a visual supply list below. I've started doing this now because sometimes just seeing the product helps you remember if 1, you own it, or 2, you have something similar, right? So that visual supply list is always there. And then this is where I will list the links to the class videos. And then as class gets closer, I will list the downloadable handout as well. All right. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I think it's helpful for you to kind of see what you get when you sign up for class. And again, this is what you get the second that you sign up for any online class. You immediately get access to that resource page. All right. I see Tracy just popped in from Papercraft Clubhouse. We were chatting about how fun that in-person class is going to be on September 13th. I think I might have even convinced Elizabeth. Maybe Elizabeth is going to join us. But yeah, so that is that. Let's see if I've missed any other questions. Sharon says, I'm sorry, I just did it again. Sandy says, Jenn lists every little thing you need and bunches of them are the same every time and you can substitute as well. Thank you. Yeah, Monique yells BG11 because I use that marker in almost every single class. Sheila says, I was Jennabled and finally got myself a quickie glue pen. OMG, was I missing out? They're fabulous. Yay. And Susan says, I love your approach to class supplies. Thank you so much. And thank you, Kristen. I'm glad that you are finding this helpful. Okay, I'm just looking at my notes really quick. All right, I'm just looking because I want to make sure I don't forget anything, and I jotted down some lists. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to share with you guys really quick while I had you is one thing that people have loved over the years is my class handouts. And so I quickly noticed how people were looking for a way to organize their class handouts. And so that's why I designed this Creative Chick Class resource binder. And I just want to point out that unfortunately, manufacturing is shifting a bit in the United States, and my binder and divider manufacturer has closed. However, I still have a lot of binders, but I'm out of dividers. So what I've done is I've discounted the price of my binders, and I'm going to kind of show my table in just a minute with the binder on it. But I wanted to point this out that the binders are on sale. I'm looking for a new source for dividers, but it is a lot more cumbersome than I had hoped. So hopefully I will be able to find a new resource. But I also wanted to just point out, and I'm going to flip over to my screen, to my table, sorry. So this is a Creative Chick resource binder. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this is even timely to talk about because it's like that back to school time. I am a sucker for really, really nice stationery and office supplies. I mean, come on. And now I live in this paper crafting land. So this binder is a really, really high quality, nice binder. I wish you guys could all pet it because it's so soft and so smooth. This is actual ink smushing that I did with Distress Inks for the graphic on the binder. These are the dividers that I don't have right now, but I also just wanted to point out, not only can you organize your class handouts in these binders, but I also linked in the video, and I have it linked on my Jennabler page, these binder pockets are Velcro. They're very, very sturdy. And what's nice about these, and I've seen many people do this, is they will print out the class handout. They will prep all their pieces and stuff, all their kits for that class, and store it in these. And then if they go to a friend's house or they go to a store crop or whatever, they can bring their binder and work on their classes. So you don't have to be at home with all of your supplies. So I just wanted to point that out. I had mentioned it the last time I did this live, and people really loved this idea. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned it again. And I really was ahead of the game this time, and I made sure I linked these pockets in the description of the chat, along with the binders. Because again, that discount is a really, really nice discount. Okay, so let me check and see if I'm missing any other questions. Yeah, Beatrice says, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's class. So tomorrow, August 28th, is the free Create With Us online class. It's right on Lawn Fawn's YouTube, so there's no need to sign up. And if you didn't know about it, that doesn't mean you're behind. You can just come hang out with us and chat. And then later you can make the cards if you would like. Yay, I'm glad you guys liked that idea. Awesome. All right. So yeah, so I just want to do a quick rundown of my upcoming classes. So hopefully I'm enabling you to join in. Um, and so just a reminder, we've got upcoming online Witchy Wishes and Hello Beauty Fall. And these are super, super fun classes. And again, it just takes the guesswork out. Sometimes we just want to create and we don't want to have to think about it. Let me do the thinking. Let me do the hard work for you. And what you'll find is the more classes that you take, not that you're not a good card maker now, but the more classes that you take, the better and more confident you will get as a card maker, right? And then we have upcoming, I will be in Connecticut at Papercraft Clubhouse on September 13th. I don't know if Tracy is still here. I know Renee and Tracy are busy running amazing stores. But if Tracy's here, maybe she can let us know how signups are going, if people should panic sign up or if there's still a little bit of time. And Monique's already signed up for both Lawn Fawn classes. Thank you so much, Monique. And I believe Monique is in the Netherlands. And I know she's chimed in the past where even if English isn't your first language, she has found my classes very easy to follow, which is really nice. I'm pretty sure after I go live, YouTube does closed captioning. Let's see. Sandy's asking, will there be an online mixed media? Yes, there will be, Sandy, which I'll bring that up. So Tracy's here. So maybe she'll let us know. So the morning class is almost sold out because it's a 3.5 hour class, the mixed media in season. It's 3.5 hours. And so we're going to do a morning session and then have an hour break. And then an afternoon session is just a repeat of the morning. We're just trying to make it so that more people can sign up. So Tracy says the morning is almost sold out and the afternoon is half full. So if you are interested in signing up, definitely sign up soon. Amarita needs a class catch-up club. I'll have to think about that. I would have to think about that. Kristen says, I would love some time to see you kit by grabbing out of your stash and doing all the steps. I am visual and think that would help me do this better. So I will definitely think of that, Kristen. My problem with that, though, is my stash is different than your stash. So if I go to grab, like, let's say we're using one of the grassy borders from Lawn Fawn. If I go to grab a different grassy border, you might not have that grassy border and that might throw you off. So that would just have to be something I would have to think about, like in my brain, how I can achieve that to make it work well for you. And if you have thoughts on that, send me an email because I'd be happy to hear that. And Monique says, yes, she is Dutch and it's easy to follow my classes. So thank you so much. And then one more quick recap is coming up. Chari and I will be teaching online East Coast Fawnies, S'more the Merrier. We'll have more details about that in September. And then I will be teaching mixed media in season online, and I'll have more details about that in late September. So lots and lots of fun things coming up this fall. There's even a couple things I haven't mentioned yet because I don't have all the details. But the best thing to do is to make sure you guys are subscribed to my email newsletter. You could do that directly through my website. And most importantly, I just want to have you guys create more because I think it brings us happiness. Yesterday, I was wearing my Crafting is My Therapy t-shirt for my Get Crackin' on Christmas Live. But I just want us to have more creative time. And I think sometimes if this isn't something that you do frequently, it might be overwhelming. You might not know where to start. You might not know what technique to do. And so I do my best, not only in my online classes, but in my Get Crackin' on Christmas lives and all of the inspiration that I share on my website, I do my best to hopefully inspire you guys to create more, use your supplies more, because I do think that that brings us so much happiness. And not only does it bring us happiness and kind of calm us down, then you're sending these cards out and you're giving happiness to friends and family, which is so, so awesome. All right, so let me know if you guys have any last minute questions before I let you go. Actually, before I let you go, I see one more thing I wanted to just mention. I do have some kits available. These are previous kits or previous classes that I taught in person. So some of them have access to videos, but most of them just have downloadable handouts, but they are very easy to follow along. They all have coloring guides. And again, this is something where you will get everything pre-stamped and die cut for you. I think these are great to have on hand. Again, when you kind of get in a creative slump, you can just pull a kit out, or maybe you're getting together with a friend and you can just bring some kits instead of being overwhelmed with what to bring to your friend's house. Anyways, thank you guys. Thank you so much. So I don't see any other questions popping through. I appreciate those of you that were able to join me live. Tracy at Papercraft Clubhouse, thank you so much. I cannot wait to see you. And Renee at Scrappy Chic, Renee and Michelle, thank you so much for putting those kits together. I really appreciate you guys. And if you're catching the replay, thank you. You can email me with any questions that you guys have, or you can post them in the comments on this video. I hope to see you guys all in a class soon, whether it's online or in person, right? And remember, Papercraft Clubhouse is in Connecticut. So if you live within New England, it's worth the road trip. I promise you. It's a well-stocked, inspiring store. All right, you guys, I'll chat with you all soon. Have an amazing afternoon. Bye.